What's going on, gamers? Chris here with Telesplashgaming. Welcome to Winter Solstice. The weather's changing, it's getting cold, and we're getting into it. And I have a question for you. Where are you? And it's not necessarily a question for you in particular. I hope you're snuggled up, enjoying a nice hot toddy with an electric blanket behind your TV screen, watching some Telesplashgaming. But I'm asking this to my favorite gaming franchises. Where'd you guys go? I mean, there's a ton of games I grew up playing, and I loved these franchises, and then all of a sudden, as I become an adult, they decide to disappear. Well, we're not having that here today. I want to talk about some game franchises that I know I love, I know you love, and I want to know what the heck happened to them. Stick around, let's get right into it. The first game that came to mind for me is Prince of Persia. Now, Prince of Persia has had some incredible games that have actually lasted a couple decades, but recently they've been kind of quiet. So Prince of Persia for me started out on the Super Nintendo. It was the game that I played, and I started off with a timer, thrown in the dungeon. Jafar took my girl, and I was going to have none of that. You're running through traps, you're trying to escape these dungeons, you have an epic sword fight with some cool bosses, and at the very end, you have to confront the guy that kidnaps your girl and slay him. And the very end of the game, when you beat it, that's really awesome, is that you actually get like a montage of your adventure. And to me, it was just one of those really cool ways that the ending wasn't amazing, but the montage just put everything together into a cool package. Okay, enough about my memories of Prince of Persia, but what the heck happened to the franchise? They had the Sands of Time that came out and multiple sequels after that. Then in 2008, they made a game called Prince of Persia, and it was just a really unique Prince of Persia game that had kind of the cel-shaded graphics. It was a little bit different storyline. Some people thought it was a little too easy, although I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I loved the 2008 version. Then a couple years later, they released another game in the Sands of Time timeline, and it went back to that formula, which was popular, but the reviews were a little bit mixed. But since that game in 2010, we've heard nothing from Prince of Persia, and I can't believe it's been over 10 years since I played a Prince of Persia game. The other thing about that makes me wonder is that Ubisoft is known for Assassin's Creed. Now, Assassin's Creed is a hugely popular game franchise, and it kind of makes me wonder if that has now taken over and Prince of Persia is on the back burner. But for me, even though the games might have a similar feel to them, Prince of Persia has a special place in this troll's heart and maybe in yours too. So, Prince of Persia, where you been? The next one up is another personal favorite of mine, and that's Bushido Blade. Now, my nerdy group of friends, back in high school, junior high, we played video games every single weekend. That's just what we did. No, we weren't chasing chicks. That wasn't our group. We wanted to go hang out, eat bowls of cereal, stay up late, and make fun of each other while playing games. And frankly, that's amazing memories. But Bushido Blade was one of those games along with Blitz, Tekken, StarCraft, Diablo. Heck, we'd hang out, watch movies together, watch someone play Final Fantasy, and we just chill. That's the kind of gamers we were. We just had fun being together. But Bushido Blade was one of those games that popped out of the woodwork. I honestly think someone just had it like in a CD sleeve, and we said, what's this game about? And we put it in, and it was such a unique take on the fighting experience. There was instant kills, so if you made a major mistake, it was instant death. The weapons made it really fun. You could get your arm or leg injured, so you pretty much were out of using that during the battle. Bushido Blade just had a really unique take on the fighting game scene, and at the time, it was just something that kind of blew us away. We never played a game like it. I know there was a Bushido Blade 2 that came out, but really, those games have aged a little bit rough. They're a little bit clunky. The graphics are terrible. They look like a tanorexic beach bum who doesn't know when to call it quits when it comes to laying out. And frankly, I'm ready for something new. And it's been over 20 years since the sequel came out, so I think it's time for Bushido Blade to give this a full-on run. I want to see a new game. Now, maybe I'm the only one hankering for a Bushido Blade, but I think with all the fighting games that are out, it's obviously popular. Why not create a fighting game that is a little bit more intense when it comes to one-hit kills? If you make a mistake, you're instantly dead or you're in big time trouble. I think it just makes the anxiety of playing those games a little bit more fun and makes it more intense. Now let me know, are you a fan of Bushido Blade, or am I literally the only one that wonders what the heck happened to this franchise? Because the IP pretty much disappeared. I haven't seen anything since the second one. It literally went up like a cloud of smoke. Next up is a franchise that gave us a carrot. And then they took that carrot away and said, hasta luego, bon voyage, c'est la vie, ciao, goodbye. And that was Silent Hill. Now, part of the problem is it was Hideo Kojima that created the PT demo. The PT demo was so hyped, and it was with good reason, because it was amazing. It was scary. It was redonkulous. But Hideo Kojima left. Now he's doing Death Stranding, completely different. Silent Hill was left on the back burner. But why can't Konami take that, make a new Silent Hill game, and give us the rest of that carrot? You know what I'm saying? And with that, heck, at this point, look what Resident Evil did with Resident Evil 7. Completely different, yet incredible. And then they took a game that was already amazing in Resident Evil 2 and remade it completely, and it still crushed it, and I loved it. So at this point, I would take a Silent Hill 1 or 2 remake, not a remaster, a full-on remake. I would take that. Survival horror games to me are love-hate. I love them, but I hate them. I can't keep the Old Spice on fast enough. It literally, I'm burning through t-shirts and Old Spice. I have to pause the game every 20 minutes and reapply. That's why I hate them. My heartbeat is bouncing all over the place. I probably won't be able to play these for much longer because I'm gonna have a heart attack. I love survival horror, and I'm hankering for a new Silent Hill game, and I cannot be the only one. Next up is another retro gaming classic that has spawned multiple sequels, and that's Castlevania. Now, this series has spawned countless games, and many of them have been fantastic. There have been a couple duds, but many of the games in the Castlevania franchise have been really, really good. But the latest Castlevania, Grimoire of Souls, is absolutely baffling. Mobile only, Android and iOS. Are you kidding me? You're going to make a new IP and you're going to put it only on phones? Don't even get me started. The last actual big-time release we got was in 2014, Lords of Shadows 2, which I didn't play that one. So we've been 5 years removed from a Castlevania game. Now, with that being said, Koji Igarashi, if I'm pronouncing that right, left the company and created his own company and then developed a game called Bloodstained Ritual of the Moon, which is a spiritual successor and very Castlevania-like. But that's not what this list is about. It's not about games that are like your favorite franchises, it's about your favorite franchises. I want to play with the Belmonts. I want to be a Belmont. I want to slay Dracula. I want to continue that lore in the Castlevania series. So why haven't we gotten a new game in a while? Well, I don't know. I'm not here to answer the question, I'm here to ask the question. Why not something like Super Castlevania? Why not something like Symphony of the Night? There's so many great Castlevania games that they can just make it. They had the formula. Create the game. I'm ready for Castlevania. Make something new. You feel me? When a group of Rare employees left and created their own company and started developing a game, you weren't expecting a first-person shooter as good as GoldenEye or Perfect Dark to take form. But for the PlayStation 2, Time Splitters popped out, and it did a pretty dang good job. With charming graphics and a unique character design based on like pop culture, it was almost a parody of like pop culture people. It was a great game. I mean, your time travel with first-person shooter elements, with multiplayer. I mean, the characters were great. The gameplay was solid. It was an instant hit for me and many first-person shooter fans at the time. With 3 games released from 2000 to 2005, the franchise seemed to be on the right track, and all 3 of those games got great reviews. I mean, they're all trending like between 80 and like 90, 95 on all their scores out of 100. I mean, we're getting solid B+ to A+ scores here. So it's not like the franchise even had a dud that would have killed the IP. But for some reason, I don't know what the hell happened, they haven't made a game. I mean, 05 was the last Time Splitters game. All 3 games came out on the PlayStation 2, the GameCube. I mean, they didn't even get like a different generation of consoles. They're all in the same generation of consoles. And so there's tons of questions every few years around Time Splitters. And they always have an answer. Oh, we're working on this, we're working on this. Oh, Time Splitters may not come back. I can't find anything definitive. I just want to know why Time Splitters got destroyed. Where's it been? It's a great game. It's fun. And with the online, the multiplayer, and the humor, I think it would be absolutely amazing to get that on some new modern consoles. There we go, Trollios. A few franchises that left me in the middle of the night and never came back. I want to know what happened to them. I'm hankering to play these franchises. In the comments down below, let me know which game left you high and dry. We've all got a couple. The ones that got away. Keep trolling. Keep rolling. We'll talk to you later.